I think I'm very guilty for this or for feeling this way, but I always feel this way when I'm with a group of people, like out in public, and we're walking. I get so much anxiety. I don't just get anxiety because I just get that social anxiety, but I get anxiety because I'm just not going to be able to keep up with this group of people. I just walk like at like 100 kilometers per hour and there I am walking at like 10. It's like the group of people or the group of my friends would just be over here, and where would I be? Well, I'd be all the way down here trying to keep up with the group of people. I mean, I could walk fast and I could keep up with a group of people, but then what happens then? Well, one of the three things. I'm either going to trip on my own goddamn foot just to keep up with the people, I'm going to trip on something that isn't even there, or you know what, better yet, I'm going to trip on something that's just in my goddamn head. Hey guys, so in this video I really wanted to be talking about multiple sclerosis and self-love. Now why I wanted to be talking about this is because I feel like these two topics go hand in hand with each other. I know for me, especially shortly after my multiple sclerosis diagnosis, that was the start of where I was having a hard time trying to figure out my self-love, trying to figure out how to love myself when I was going through everything that I was going through, and even to this day actually. But I thought I'd make a video on this to kind of just talk about it a little more, you know, condensed into a 10-minute video, I hope. But yeah, so before I begin this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. 2K guys by the end of this year would be kind of cool. But wishful thinking. Anyways, for now, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Self-love and self-worth was something that I struggled so much with, especially this year, and especially after finishing my 6th year in university, because I didn't understand what my purpose was, and this just gets into my next point. With being in university for 6 years, and with everything university teaches you, well yeah, self-love just wasn't one of them, because school doesn't really teach you about survival skills. Self-love was just one of the things that no one was going to tell me about, and it was something I had to figure out for myself, especially during one of my most vulnerable times, and that was during my multiple sclerosis diagnosis in 2017. At that point, I was experiencing depression for the second time, so who was going to be there for me to love me and tell me that everything was going to be okay when I felt like I was hitting my rock bottom? You know, again. It took me a while to realize that self-love was a thing, you know, a thing where I actually had a really hard time understanding while being in university. Why? Because while I was in university, I never really thought about myself. Being in university, all I could ever think about were the assignments, the projects, the group work, all the tests and exams, and don't even get me started on the stupid Scantron sheets. You know, those Scantron sheets that you get while you're writing a test or an exam in university, where you have all of these little bubbles. So you have like 50 bubbles, and you basically have to circle in or color in the correct answer. But it's like, how do you color in the correct answer when you don't see the 50 bubbles, but you see 100 because your double vision just loves messing with you? How do you love yourself knowing that you can't just wear glasses and then your problems will be fixed? Because for people who actually can't see things, right, close up, far away, whatever, with their vision, they wear glasses. But I can't wear glasses. I don't have glasses for double vision. I'm nystagmus. Now, at that point, how do you love yourself? And when I got diagnosed in my 2nd year, all I could ever think was, you know what, MS, 2 can play this game, because I don't just have 1 university degree, I have 2 at 23, and I beat MS to it, and that's all I wanted to goddamn do. But at what cost? Because now I'm just honestly having an identity crisis where I just feel like I don't want to be a teacher, but I just felt like I think I spent so much time trying to prove MS wrong that I not once thought about myself. And it's just so hard because I've cried about this quite a bit, and I felt so guilty for all the hard work I put in with university, because all I keep thinking is, did I just work hard for no reason? And the whole guilty feeling, just feeling all that guilt, just really gets to you, and this just gets into my next point. So not being able to do the things that the other people around me were able to do has honestly made me feel so guilty majority of the times. For instance, not being able to do the little things was what would drive me up the wall, because how was I to love myself when I was forgetting how to do things that I learned when I was a little kid? I oftentimes felt like I had to say and do the things that the other people were doing and saying around me. This is the time I was supposed to film, and I'm already ahead of the game. Cool. You know, it wasn't until this year where I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to keep other people happy when the people that I'm trying to keep happy doesn't even include myself. And that wasn't anyone's fault but mine. It was my fault because I've just always been the kind of person to care about other people before I cared about myself. I personally feel like MS stood in the way of me trying to understand myself and love myself with the amount of obstacles MS even continues to put me through. And this just gets into my next point. So self-love in the moments of brain fog, this was difficult for me, and this kind of just goes back to university. Like being with a group and doing group work, this was difficult because I would have brain fog all the time. It's like, you know, my group will be talking about something and they'll be like, okay, so Pri, what do you think about this? And then I'm just looking at them like, sorry, can you say that again? And then they'll just think that, you know, maybe she wasn't listening, it's okay. So they'll repeat themselves and I'll be like, can you say that like one more time? But in my head I'm thinking, actually no, can you say that like 10 more times for me to process what's even being said to me? Because what you can understand in 10 seconds is something that's going to take me 10 minutes to understand. So at that point, it's like, how do you love yourself? How do you love yourself when you can't process things as fast as other people? Or how do you love yourself when you forget the little things? And it's like, you're only in your early 20s. How do you love yourself when you're so young and it's like, you're not even capable of remembering a lot of things? Like, guys, to be honest with you, I still don't know how I got 2 university degrees, but I did, so that's something, right? And then just even being in groups, right? Like for university, that was difficult for me because it's like, we would have meetings whenever we would have like a project or an assignment or a presentation we would have to work on together, right? So we would usually have like an hour-long meetings. Now, that doesn't work well for me because I can't just sit for 1 hour and not have to go to the bathroom like 5 times in the span of an hour. So I would be the one idiot to be like, okay guys, I need to go to the bathroom. And come back a few minutes later, guys, I need to go to the bathroom again. Like, these people probably thought I was taking a shit, but some of the time, yes I was, but I mean, I already did. So it's like, do I say that in present or past tense? I don't know. And just having that overactive bladder, well, the self-love, this just gets into my next point. Not being able to hold in your bladder for every single time you went outside, like even to this day, I was just, once upon a time, I was just not happy with myself. It's like, how was I not able to do something that I should have learned how to do when I was a baby? I just also wasn't happy with the fact, this is probably TMI, but I just wasn't happy with the fact of how my shit came out, like literally, pun intended. Where it was like, for me, my shit always came out in pebbles, and it still does. I don't know if it's because I'm petite, that's just how my body works, I don't know. So what was I doing? Well, I was kind of just leaving a trail of pebbles behind as I was walking, because I also had an overactive bladder, and I still do. And oh my gosh, going on dates was probably the worst experience ever for me because I think I scarred a lot of the men. But yeah, this just gets into my next point. This was difficult for me to understand at the time because I just always felt like I needed someone to make me happy. So like, I guess a guy. Because for me, I just didn't know how to make myself happy, that I just thought someone else could figure it out for me, but it shouldn't have been that way. It really shouldn't have. And I think about it now, and it's also because I just didn't have that self-love and I couldn't figure myself out. Coming to peace with myself was so difficult because I just didn't have that self-love, right? This is what happens when you cook chicken and then the fire alarm goes on. Hashtag go vegan. Sorry, I had to. With coming to peace with myself meant that I was going to love myself despite all of the little things that I just was not able to do, right? Once you have self-love, you stop caring about what other people think about you, because who gives a damn what they think about you? You know, when you wear a diaper, so what? You wear a pull-up, so what? You can't walk properly, who cares? Because at the end of the day, if you're the one with the self-love and, you know, people are saying all these things about you, all of that stuff wouldn't even matter anymore because you truly believe that you're the best person you can be, and that's all that should really matter, right? But what happens when you're in an environment where you just haven't discovered self-love yet? Better yet, what happens when the people you're surrounded by make you feel like crap? How do you have that self-love at that point? And this actually just gets into my next video that I will be posting for next week on Friday. And I just thought I would leave this video off at like a little bit of a cliffhanger because, yeah. That's pretty much it to my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this video because I would honestly love to hear from you. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and check out my blog. I'll post links down below as always. And I'll see you guys in my next video that will be up for next week on November 5th. So, bye guys.